Cracker Barrel is debuting a new training program. Will the no taxes on tips rule create more wage disparity? And Starbucks is testing a new assistant manager program. Welcome to Restaurant Daily, the day's biggest industry news and trends from the editors of Restaurant Business and Nation's Restaurant News. I'm RB Managing Editor Heather Lally.
And I'm NRN Managing Editor Leanne Zinsmeister. Cracker Barrel is stepping up training for its kitchen staff. The chain is rolling out enhanced training alongside a slate of new menu items for the holidays. Cracker Barrel is working to recover from traffic declines that followed the backlash to its new logo in August and September. It plans to double down on food quality and customer experience, and the new training appears to be a part of that.
As the no taxes on tips rule takes shape, some restaurant industry groups fear kitchen workers will be shut out. The public comment period ends this week on the proposed rule, which was part of President Trump's massive tax and spending bill. As drafted, no tax on tips will only apply to certain workers who receive tips, and automatic gratuities or service charges won't count as tipped income. For example, kitchen workers who participate in tip pools would not likely be allowed to benefit. The Independent Restaurant Coalition this week called for changes to the rule before it is finalized, saying the current proposal will create more wage disparity between front and back of house workers.
Starbucks' new assistant manager program is officially in test. The company first announced the program at its Leadership Experience Convention in June, with a goal of adding at least one full-time assistant manager at each location to improve customer and team member experiences. The test is in Chicago, Rio Grande Valley, Texas, and Inland Empire, California, and it includes 62 assistant managers, 90% of whom were internally promoted.
Managers paying for customers' orders, employees manually entering transactions, customers expressing frustration about their inability to order ahead, and delivery orders going unfulfilled. These are just some of the frustrations from Monday's global Amazon Web Services outage. Both Starbucks and McDonald's experienced app disruptions, while DoorDash and Grubhub were also down. Point-of-sale provider Toast also experienced an outage impacting its vast network of restaurant companies, including independents. All told, more than 1,000 companies experienced some downtime Monday, costing an estimated billions of dollars and demonstrating the increasing dependence on cloud infrastructure services.
From now on, Swig's team members will be called daymakers. This shift is to coincide with the chain's mission of being the best part of its customers' day, according to founder Nicole Tanner, who shared her story at last week's Create event in Nashville. Tanner started the Dirty Soda chain in 2010 after her daily experience through a chain drive-thru felt unfulfilling. She believed that she could create a better experience where people could feel both seen and valued. There are now about 130 Swig locations across 16 states.
Chris Sims founded Lazy Dog Restaurant and Bar in 2003 after he and his friends started getting married and having kids. They no longer felt welcome at the restaurants they used to go to, and he wanted to start a next-generation casual dining concept with scratch-made food and great culture. That's what he told attendees at last week's Create event in Nashville. Sims said the goal is to create, quote, small-town hospitality and a feeling of belonging. Lazy Dog now has more than 50 locations across 8 states and generates nearly $8.5 million in AUVs.
Amid economic uncertainty and reduced consumer spending, restaurants are turning to innovative strategies to draw traffic and stay competitive. Influencer marketing is emerging as a cost-effective way to drive traffic, especially among Gen Z and millennials who increasingly rely on social media for dining decisions. That's according to Abby Hughes of Bell Communication. Raphael LaRue of Live It emphasizes the importance of community engagement, hyper-personalization, and experiential dining to attract younger audiences. And Bradley Sachs of Goldberg's Group advises diversifying revenue streams, such as by expanding into airports or focusing on your values like sustainability to bolster resilience and amplify brand reach. Hughes, LaRue, and Sachs spoke on Friday at Create, the event for emerging restaurateurs.
And that should do it for today's edition of Restaurant Daily. Get the latest restaurant news every weekday wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Heather Lally.
And I'm Leanne Zinsmeister. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Restaurant Daily. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe.